Randy Vermonic or Chris Hansen, call the office right away. Randy Vermonic or Chris Hansen, please call the office right away.
Alright, make sure you grab a practice test when you're walking. Grab a practice test when you're walking. One thing, remind people when they walk in and do that.
Thursday. I remember that. Okay. Yeah, we're having a test Thursday, right?
Okay, Connor. You know what? Where'd they go again?
I grabbed that test my first try.
Did you really? First try? First try.
You never lied.
Guy doesn't come up.
Aaron, I'm allergic.
While you're talking right now, you should choke it up. Listen.
Yeah, I'm allergic. Volleyball.
Have a good time last night?
It's not that bad. I've had worse.
Alright, hey, did everyone get a practice test as they walked in? They're over there. Didn't? Go grab one. Alright, today. So today what we're going to do, we're going to go through the first 6. I believe there's only 12 questions on it. Front and back, this is exactly what your test can look like. Very short. Quiz, whatever you want to call it. Okay? It's just a test. Okay? Alright, so it's based on each type of problem that we've actually covered. So I just want to make sure that we go through it. Okay? So let me go to this. Alright. So we're on section P.5 to P.7 review. Alright, so our goal on this is to go through the practice test. I want to go through problem number 6 today. That's what I want to go through. So practice guide. Numbers 1 through 6. Now, I may not give you your exact problem, but I'll give you an idea of what you need to do for that. And I'll kind of warn you what problem could be sitting there. Once we're done with the practice guide review, you'll have time where you can work on your homework. Because that homework's time is due tomorrow, and I know that some people just need time. Okay, so that's due tomorrow. Due Wednesday. Alright, this covers basically every different topic we covered. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. Okay? So, on the trinomial here in the beginning, okay, you have to factor that thing apart. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So, you're going to have to factor that thing up into 2 parentheses. So, the idea is that what you need to worry about first is that we're in descending order. Do you know what your symbols are going to be? So, what do my symbols going to be? Yeah, they're both going to be negatives. Now, the reason why. They're the same. They're both negatives. That's what it's telling you. This means that they're the same. If that was a minus sign, it's automatically plus minus. Then what you do is you break up the item in the front, and that goes here and here, and you break up the item in the back, and that goes here and here. If it's possible. Okay? Because sometimes it may not work, but there could be a lot of combinations. So I'm just going to make up a problem, because you guys know how to do yours, you probably already have it figured out. But let's say I do a problem like this. Let's say that was my problem. Okay, or even better, I can do something like this. Still a trinomial, and still do it. Okay? So it's going to be two parentheses in my case. It'll be plus minus, x and x, and then I have to break up the 72 in the back. Two numbers that multiply to give me 72 with y's on, but they have to give me 1 in the middle. So what do you think? What are numbers that multiply to give me 72?
9.
9, 8. That's probably the combination, because that's going to give me the -1. So I'll go like 8y and 9y. That'll give me the -1 in the middle. Because when you actually FOIL first that or interlash, you get a positive 8xy and -9xy. Gives me the -1 in the middle. Okay, does that make sense? Like what you have to do on trinomials? It'll be something like that on problem number 1. Do you think you can handle that? Okay. All right, let's move on. And again, if it's not factorable, you have right prime. Maybe the number is off. Okay, number 2. Number 2. All right, difference of squares. On a difference of squares, no matter what, on a difference of squares, you have to go 2 parentheses. So I'm just going to make up a problem. So let's go 144 minus 25 z to the 6th. Okay, this is a difference of squares, right? It's 2 perfect squares. 144 is a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square, and those, if you have variables, they have to be even numbers. It has to be 2 parentheses. Go plus minus. And then what you do is you just break up this item evenly, break up that item evenly. So how do you break 144? 12 and 12. Basically the square root of them. 25. 5z to the third. 5z to the third. That's just how you break them up evenly. So that's a difference of squares. It works. If you FOIL it out, it will give you the right answer. That's how you're going to do yours. Even if it's multiple letters, it doesn't matter. Break the first item, break up the second item. That's just how it works. That's how you know if it, now, here's the big deal. They have to be perfect squares, and there has to be a minus sign in the middle. If it's plus, you can do it. You have to do it by some other method, and not difference of squares. Okay, good with number 2. Okay. Number 3. Okay, number 3. That is a cube rule. It could be a difference or sum. It doesn't really matter. So cube rules can have anything. On the cube rule, if you don't remember, this is the problem where, let's say I was giving you 27 plus, let's go with 216 w to the third. So this is my problem. Okay, that's a cube. These are both cube numbers, so you have to have that list, or you have to at least make it, because you'll have nothing on the board on the test day. So these are cube numbers, so how you do that is a small parenthesis, big parenthesis. The small parenthesis gives you everything. If you can get the small parenthesis here, it'll give you the terms that go back here. That's what you need to realize for cube rules. So the plus sign will go here. Now what I need to do is just do the cube root of each of these. So it's cube root of 27. 3. Cube root of 216 is 6, and it's a w, because that's basically cube root of a w to the third. You basically just take power divided by 3. Okay, now that I have this, now I can figure out the rest of the items. Okay, because the parenthesis back here would be a minus sign, and a plus in back. It's always the opposite, and then a plus. That's just how it works. This item is the first item squared. What's 3 squared? 9. That's why I get that out. The middle term is just multiply these 2 things together. 18 w. 6 times 3. And ignore the symbol in here. If there's a minus sign, just ignore it. I'm just multiplying these 2 things together. So I get this. And then the back item is this thing squared, which is 36 w squared. That's the idea. That's how you do those problems. Now I know if you look at both parentheses, they have other things in common. You can pull those out. It's fine. It's just you need to realize that certain problems here you should be able to factor them in. That type of thing. Questions, comments, concerns on any of this so far?
We don't have the vector C in the setting where the x is.
No. You can just leave it however you set that cube rule up. Leave it like that. So I know that you can switch around in this case, not a big deal. Okay. So again, it's the first item squared, the middle is these multiplied, and the back item is this thing squared. Back. That's just how I always write it. Again, now, before you even start, you should always see like if there's common factors, pull those out. Like on that problem, I know that they have 3's in common. I know that they have, in fact, they have 9's in common. So that's just something you need to realize, that you can like pull out common factors and stuff.
You want us to do that?
So if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can do that first. It's not a big deal. You get the same answer I would. I just think, like, especially if you're working with really big numbers, I think it's smart. Like in that case, I would have probably pulled out the 9 or 27 or whatever number they had in common. I would pull that out first. Just make sure it's a little smaller. Not a big deal. Okay, questions on that problem? Okay, 4. This is a grouping problem. So this is one where you have to like group things together and pull things apart. So I'll just make a problem with grouping. So it's something like x to the 3rd plus x squared plus 8. Let's go 8wx plus 8w. Something like that, right? Where they have something in common, and I can pull things out. So like when you look at that problem, it's pretty obvious the things you need to group. Like in yours, it's pretty obvious. The first 2 you group the second 2, right? So like on my problem, I'll pull out on this first part here, I'll pull out the x's. So it looks like on these, I have x's in common, so I'm going to pull out an x squared. So if I do that, what's left here is an x, what's left here is a 1. Remember, there's 2 items. When I pull a common factor, there should still be 2 items in here. Back here, it looks like they have an 8 and a w. So if I pull the 8w out, it looks like there's an x plus 1 there. Because that's a 1 once I take the 8w out. That's the most common mistake that people make. They forget, like when they're taking out common factors, sometimes there might be a 1 sitting in there. Because whatever item you start with, if that's binomial, this should still be a binomial. That's the idea. Now, when you look at this problem, you notice that they both have a common parenthesis here on like the big problem here. So I'm going to take that out. So if I take out the big parenthesis, like this and that one, the x plus 1 will go back. What's left if I took these off? Yeah. This is what's left if I took the x plus 1 off of both of them.
What happens when our parentheses have different signs?
What you need to make sure of is like if you take out this negative sign, this will turn negative. So that's what I would attempt to do. I would like on this one I would take out the -5 and pull that outside the parentheses. That way when I divide this by -5, it turns out to be a -1 sigma. Make sense? Yeah. So, and now the parentheses should be the same. If they're not, then you can't do it. Like if it doesn't work out. Question?
So if you take negative out,
It goes out of the back. Yeah, it switches the middle sign.
then you get this one.
Yeah. Because you're literally dividing -1 out of both. So. Okay, 5, this problem. It just says factor completely, right? It's a free-for-all. It'll be any problem sitting there. It could be a trinomial, it could be a difference of squares, it could be a cube rule, it could be a grouping problem, it could have common factors, it could be a mixture of all of them. You have to factor this thing down as far as you can. So it may keep going for a while, because maybe after you factor it, maybe you notice there's a common factor. So you take out, like maybe there's a 6 and an x squared, so you take those out. But then you notice what's left is a trinomial, so maybe you got to break up that trinomial. Maybe in that trinomial you know there's a difference of squares, so you have to keep going. So you break down as far as you can. That's all I'm going to tell you in number 5. I'm not even going to work through that problem. You have to mentally prepare yourself that it could be a mixture of different problems you have to factor out as far as you can. Because I'm not going to just prepare you for this one because it'll work different. All right. And that was problem number 5, right? Okay. And the last problem today, I want to cover is number 6. Just this top one. Okay. On these, what you have to do, and I'm just going to do the number 6 here. You just have to simplify that problem down, whatever this is. Whatever these problems are, simplify them, and then tell me what numbers must be excluded from the domain. You have to do that for each problem here. And I said that in the instructions. So that means, like on this problem, like right when it starts, probably what I should do, bless you, I probably should factor this apart to see if anything cancels out, right? So like on this problem here, factor the top.
And attention please, any athletes in the freshman and sophomore class that need to see the physical trainer, you can
top part, let's go plus minus, or y and y. What numbers do I need to put in the middle? 9 and 2, so yeah, so negative 2 and 9. Alright, and then on the bottom, it looks like it's a minus minus, y and y, what, 2 and 1? So that's going to be the 3 in the middle, and the 2 in the back. And now what cancels? Now, so this is like the simplified version. So your final answer is this, right? Y equals 9, y minus 1. Alright. But there's two exceptions you can't have. What are the numbers that are on the bottom that you can't use?
Here.
X cannot be a 2 or a 1. You cannot use both. Even though the 2's cancel, they're removable. Those are still two exceptions from the original problem. So, you have to look back at the original problem, and then when you get down to the simplified, maybe things move around, so you have more stuff. So you have to go back to what you finished with and what you started with, which were these two. Okay, does that make sense? X can be any number but those two cannot. Okay, notice on number 6. Did I solve this problem? No. Look at that silly mistake where people set it equal to 0 and try to solve this thing. There's no solving. You are simplifying it as far as you can, not solving. Solvings come later. Okay, make sense? We're going to stop there. You have the rest of class today, which is like 20 minutes, almost 30, where you can work on this. Your goal is to get through 1 through 6. That's it. That's all you want to get through today. If you got through those, you're done for the day. Good. And then you want to work on your homework today. That page 98. Okay? The rest of the time is yours. Hey, when's our test, by the way?
Thursday.
Thursday. And if we need to, we'll continue to Friday if you need it.
I'm gonna be gone Friday.
Try to get it on Thursday.
What's the date for Friday? This is 7th.
6th, I believe. No, 7th, yeah.
Actually, I'll be. I think I'll be back from my dinner and I've sent home my
You
dinner.
got it.
I'll
Yeah.
start it. So.
If also. I don't know if you'll need more time. I think you might.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'm not tricking anybody. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward problem.
I might be gone next Friday. Maybe.
Okay, if you need to go to your car, get that thing for the research.
I'll get all of it.
Stewie, what were you on Sunday? Oh, Jack. Right. He just didn't want to watch a movie with.
You just go.
Wait, is that what you were saying earlier?
I didn't get it.
So you spent, Teal, you spent a little over 2 hours.
The days that you took.
Yeah, but
The who? Yeah. All right. So you can see what
13.
then.
That's serious.
I got 6.
Or Tyler's not doing anything.
I did my homework. No, you're accusing me of not doing anything.
Are you done? Have you turned in?
Oh! He did not touch.
I didn't do mine.
Yeah.
You're an embarrassment.
It's the one where it's the free
Nice.
choice.
Cool.
Is it ours?
Oh!
A 6x squared, or, yeah, you take out a 6x squared.
Because I don't think my work like downward to stop.
Yeah, I think we should be able to.
I tried to do that, but then I just, I don't know. This is habit. Very, very, very.
I think, well, yeah. I think number 3 is, hey, Warren, for number 5, if you have 6x squared out front, and then, what's the last name?
Work there, but
X squared minus the 10 is 2.
Oh,
Add it on more.
Kid, Rose.
Yeah. The number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like. Let's check the one. I'm far along now,
We're all, first JV is only in 2 years. Somebody can look at me and say,
Bryce, consider it.
Yes.
Sure, my birthday, with top 5.
I don't know, it's Bryce.
If we get like an answer that's
Oh, burger.
-2
Oh,
plus or
like
minus
the 20
4,
cent happy
we
or
have to
whatever.
figure out what
Tastes
the
like 13. These are fine.
All I can do is like go back in.
Yeah. And
The only thing you
it's
need to
like
check
the-
is like do they work. Maybe like one thing. Sometimes like a key user. One of those might be like a concept. No, just on the list. Like it seems weird.
I don't know about that.
He's got the top belly.
Everyone. Last Because it's such a lie. What? I watched the whole ass. It's like all I get to practice.
Durham Speed could have used that couple extra practice.
It's like, watch her run through that.
Yes, you should.
It's like a hundred dollars.
Was it a Walmart board? Yeah.
So if you plug back your name.
I ordered.
Take a practice.
When that's one equal.
I don't think I'll manage.
No, because. Negative 10 squared is in this.
We should have a dog.
But what if you plug it in here?
Like that.
I
don't know. I'm not gonna be close. Everyone's gonna put it 5-5.
You plug either. I plugged it
Winner
into
takes all.
and right here.
I know DGI. I know DGI. I'll say before that.
Hey, Ward, do you have a?
My book's actually just on back. Doesn't matter, that's why.
On the way down, I'll be able to.
Wait, yeah, definitely divide the one that we.
So if you think I can.
Dirty metal.
Yep.
They got a 7-inch.
See, I thought.
It's still skating. Then do that to
It's like the 6F, but yes, as the 6. Yes, boy.
I don't know.
Yes, same here.
I like speaking of sailors.
Your mom's a sailor.
Real.
It still works.
It worked.
Need one, man. That'd be awesome.
I saw that video of that, the temper glass type of thing where the guy's hammering it on his phone.
It survives it.
But there's probably a lot of internal damage.
I don't know.
Because if you're hitting it that hard,
I know he has to replace the film, but it survived it.
but you gotta think about the internal
The
damage.
digitization
Hit it
still
on
works.
skin, he's gets a name for screwdriver.
Yeah, it's unnerving when you see it. You're like, oh, that is no good.
He uses a hammer and screwdriver.
And I had nobody ever wanted one. I just had to eat them myself. I guess it's still there. Yeah, they're mine. I can give them out to people.
I've seen that.
Do you want one? No, you missed out, they're good.
I already have them. I gave them one earlier.
On that, kiss around.
Well, I thought you
Oh, yeah, we're not like on costumes, we're gonna walk back Jack's house.
They're like,
Ain't that right, Jack?
What?
We're buying clown costumes and we're gonna walk by your house.
Don't do that.
Why?
I'll throw one.
Feels like a clown attack. Jack was like,
Fine.
yeah,
I'll throw one. I already have it.
yeah, this is quite, this is creepy. They're actually. What is it?
Sure it is.
John spreads it, what is it? Yeah, man, it's creepy.
It's not moving.
Jack, what is it? Carrot. Jack, what do you think? The clock.
Animated classics.
Yeah, we were gonna go.
Animated classics.
Animated.
I was waiting for you to say that.
We
I
got
wasn't gonna say
Um,
that.
You probably didn't think
Hercules.
You're probably gonna go, you know what?
Spelled wrong.
You know what, Burger? Oh, we got.
It's not in, he doesn't like that.
Yes, there is.
It's not, it's type it up.
Just don't rip it or else you'll.
So sorry. So sorry.
It's not even gonna fit.
Yeah, it's confusing.
That's like you're right. Yeah, what do you mean?
What?
Hey, this one's like.
Oh my god.
Straighten that one loose.
Oh. There you go. Crap.
Chicken run.
Yeah, I know that.
I've never seen that.
You're communist. Dude, I love that guy.
Good.
Hey Nick, let's get off your phone.
What?
Get off your phone.
Just came from Earth.
Did. I didn't do this when you were playing.
Yes, you did.
So?
Yeah.
It's Escape from Planet Earth.
That's what I said.
No, you said Escape from Earth.
Frozen.
I felt for it.
The Good Dinosaur.
Making bands,
Yeah, no balls.
marching bands, state champs.
O'Connor's some money.
I'm working on
I
it.
said O'Connor's some money.
Yeah, I need some money.
I'm still working on it.
I told your girl one day, I don't
That's how they
care
are.
too much. She breaks it, but I'm not paying for it.
You basically giving me directions.
And I said,
I
no.
was busy watching you.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm giving you permission to buy me a new phone.
Give me permission to break your phone.
Yeah.
Why did that be so?
I'd buy you. I'll buy you. I might.
Yeah, buy me a Galaxy, that's what I want.
Was it P minus C?
Okay, I'll just sell it and get a Galaxy.
Bye bye.
Honestly. I could probably get, even if it's broken, I'd probably get it maybe like $50. That's still $50. And then I can sell it
If you divided them both by C.
for like 800 buy Galaxy S7. I have $58. And you know what I can use on that?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they have a P on
Hey,
it.
listen.
Oh,
Gino has
It's basically paid for me for a new phone.
It's your own computer.
No, 2G, sorry. That job.
What? Over there.
You must be something like that. You could pick another.
Hey, Stu. We see this.
Yeah,
No.
unless I said 2.5.
I've taken this out. This is the only.
You said that one. Yeah, the next shit.
That one's hard. I don't.
That's right.
Look at Luke Brown. No hair. It was hair. That's the one I took out.
It should be up here on the bottom and one up the
I don't got long hair. I can never see my hair.
It's the same. That one you actually legitimately have.
Next year would be more.
Get off my computer.
Does I sign up for that? Oh, look, Griffin's letting you have it. He's like,
Next Wednesday at 4, what are you doing?
Or
and you're like,
you can get a $20
oh, look at this picture.
He is cool.
Mr. Griffin,
Visa
let's
card.
censor.
And then just buy it online using that $20.
That's funny. At least he's
Hey,
like, I think it's like a lot for. Yeah.
I haven't seen you.
True.
Betty, or-
There's a site that has it for $9. Shipping's only like $3.
I typed in Kubo and it didn't do anything.
It was Kubo.
Yeah, I typed in Kubo and it didn't like take.
Hey,
What is that one? Anastasia?
Yeah.
What is that one?
Owl's Moving Castle.
Yes, yeah, I've never heard of that.
I typed in Kubo and it didn't work.
See, I'm smart.
Princess Mononoke.
Smart when I don't even think about it.
Ball Hollow.
Never heard of it. Must be a different thing.
I would have to be radio.
Everybody. 20 percussions. They have like the bass drummers and
I don't think I
hair squads. They do that stuff from. Like a big bass drum. We have 3 bass
Worry
drummers.
about it.
For what? 2 snares.
About to.
Wow.
We have about
Something
seven.
like
So
that.
So yes.
She like never was born.
Now we start stepping.
Oh, you still go.
Every session. Then the summer, you every day. DJ Contra. I was there, that's right. Have you heard the new DJ Contra? What did you say? That's not funny. The games are. Download it. Oh. Cool. I don't know.
What I do.
Brandon started the random store
Like
like Saturday night.
Oh,
Work,
yeah.
work full time.
Right there.
Try to get my home days off.
Jack? Not to be nice to
I did that last grade. I did it really good. I'm actually.
Hey, this is okay.
He's not great at it.
What?
I'm not sure. He's not great at it. He probably.
Well, yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Is anybody contracting every day?
Yes, sure, yeah.
That's why I said I didn't include it.
What?
I did it in like 5 minutes. Where
Oh, you're wrong.
But, please, can I have it back?
Hey, it's your week tomorrow. Or it's your day tomorrow.
And she also said,
First Wednesday.
it smells so much better. Isn't that crazy? That's how you know she loves
We bring like chicken stew and stuff.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Get one on and off.
But when it comes to art, ask what,
Allow me to show you. That's the second.
Yeah. Still good, you wanna read that?
Hey, at least it's not me.
Even more. Yeah.
Spencer, look on the bright side, at least it's not me.
What? How you are? Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, wait, one more jump, yep.
Let's beat you, John.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Throw another one too. Ready? Oh. I get 5, I get 5. Oh my gosh. Oh, everyone snaps.
Have your attention, please. Jamie from Athletico is ready to see any juniors or seniors that need to see her. Again, if there are any juniors or seniors that need to see Jamie from Athletico, please go down to the locker room area at this time.
It only comes 12 days a year. Wait, is there like no app for it? No, so, you want to
What about it?
Yes.
Every
I
time I click on it.
registered student.
I
don't know what fall. I don't know what's on the ballot.
Yeah, I think, oh, yeah.
It says that you already got it.
You did. You
Now, yeah.
I'm gonna make a.
No, that's like my high one.
go to your.
I might.
Jack, you know where you used to add this?
Hang on.
Jack.
Just
Oh,
come.
you got
this little videos.
It's
in
there.
Oh.
Where's your company?
I need to bring my own stew, like.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you wanna be, if you really want to show up, you I just want to. I think
Auburn, rivalry, Alabama.
Well, there you go.
I can't believe you even born, bro.
Where are you now?
I know you.
But you're right there. Well then, become a student. Wait, what is student?
Yeah.
I gotta say, hands down. No.
Yes, no,
First
I
Wednesday
don't know,
every
I
month.
hear he's a little tense.
First Wednesday of every month is student.
Student, yep. And we just bring stew, we eat it. I mean, last student, me and
on Sunday.
Yeah, because I was in Union at Union.
Well, maybe you should just in
Dude, we watched. Yeah, I
Dead too.
bet he went to A.
But I understood 10 minutes of that movie because they're talking the entire time. Wait, there's a. It's so Connor.
Hey, you know what? I understood the movie just fine, yeah.
Not as good as
No, you.
Yeah, you just weren't understanding the movie because I understood it just fine.
Yeah, because you probably already seen it.
You should have been paying attention to that
No,
movie.
you.
I couldn't because you're talking
Oh,
about
wow.
tomorrow we'll have a blood roast.
No, you. Chicken noodles too?
I would have just kept going.
Soup.
I have bought this so many times. It's not really long. It's supposed to go a lot faster than this.
I feel like it's have so many things.
Yeah, and I'm at such a high level.
No, that sucks for me because my car is included. So my 3-point terms are really like
I gotta go home, study for all my college tests.
ain't that right? My 3-point terms are like 2-point terms. When I'm home, hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people build their own.
It's bad. And then you go into the ditch, and then you just slam on the gas, and the front tires spin like 25 miles for actually going.
You do that in that car.
No, you did 3 times that night.
You know what I would do right now if I was a Thunder fan? They lost. He's old. What are your age?
34.
Not that old. Don't count them out yet.
Not yet. So you're over the middle toward me. 6 more years. Yep.
Hey, when you walk in, grab a practice. Remind them as they walk in, grab one.
All right.
I don't have a practice test. I don't feel like grabbing them. They're just handing them out.
We did Egypt. That's interesting. Thought it would be like a little Vietnamese kid or something.
You're kidding me. Julie, did you finish that homework yesterday? I had zero clue as to what I was doing. I got to about like 68 or 72, and I got confused. Those multivariable ones? Yes, in this class? No. Oh.
Literally.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think that this semester.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing this month either.
Really?
All the reason I'm taking it so I don't have to compete. But and I need
But I need it, so I have to stay in it. But I don't know.
I literally.
What class?
I literally just walked into Angie's room and I just started throwing things. I was so angry.
I asked her to like do it or whatever, and she does it, and she's like, does it
She
wrong
got
on
off
the
the
board.
teacher.
She does it wrong on the board.
She told
And
us.
we're like, wait, that's not right.
Here's some
oh yeah, that
popcorn.
isn't right. And then when it's back to me, does it.
She told that yesterday. She goes, and you guys will find out. I'm not very good at this.
She goes, yeah, I don't really know.
Hey, bro.
Okay, then you're supposed to teach
I
it.
passed your car and I took some candy.
Like, Okay. Candy took off. Henry's.
Okay, hey, did everyone grab your practice guide? They walk back and back.
It's only supposed to be one page.
One page.
No, not you.
I like the new.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna study our practice guide today. We're gonna go through the first 6 problems today. Tomorrow we'll do the next 6, and then Thursday, and here's your test. Thursday, and if we need to, we'll carry over to Friday if you do not get it done, but I prefer it's Thursday because it's pretty straightforward. Our goal today is to go through these problems. I'm not going to maybe do the exact problem. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 of them, but not all of them out of the 6. And give you an idea like what could be sitting in that spot on your practice guide. So, I grab one on the back. All right. Once I'm done with these first 6, I'll give you time to work on your homework at page 98 stuff. So that was what we had yesterday. So, so that's kind of our goal. Does everyone kind of understand what this week's going to bring? Remember, quiz or test Thursday. You got to be ready to go for that. Okay, let's start with our review. It's only 3 sections. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. First problem. You have to try to factor this thing apart like a trinomial. That's the idea. If it doesn't work, then you write prime.